What's up, everybody? Today is what is today? Tuesday, August 12th, and it's about 2:20 p.m. And we're just about getting ready to head out for a good old 18 holes of golf at Miami Shores Country Club. I think it's probably the nicest semi-private or public golf course that's around the Hollywood, Miami area. It's relatively cheap, and there's a driving range so you can warm up before you actually play. For me right now, I've been shooting high 80s, low 90s. I've been hitting way too many double and triple bogeys. My goal is just to get pars and bogeys and to be way more consistent. I think something for me and a lot of other amateur golfers that are just getting into the game, the issue is you want to hit it super far. But for me, whenever I swing harder, the ball just goes really high. And in Florida, there's a lot of wind. And the wind just takes the ball and it can make you go way too long if the wind's behind you, or it can make you go way too short if the wind's coming into your face. And also for me, whenever I swing hard with like my long irons, like my 6-7 or my 6-5 and 4 irons, I get this massive push fade because I'm not compressing the golf ball. So that's one of my things I'm going to try to do is compress the golf ball, um, smooth swing, work on tempo, work on getting my right hip move forward, get my my lead arm, which is my left arm, through the golf ball, stand closer to the ball, choke up, and move closer to the ball to hit it lower, so I can play in the wind better. Yeah, just like I said, just take it. Don't try to smash the ball as far as like I possibly can. Just smooth tempo. I feel like that's gonna be it's gonna fix a lot of my issues. But hopefully after I played today at Miami Shores, I'll give you guys a recap of where what I did well, what I didn't do well. I'm driving the ball in the range amazing with this big old cut that's really consistent for me. When I get on the course, sometimes I just like flare it out to the right or do a double cross and hit it way left. Yesterday I was playing with my guy AJ and Kamar, and there's this hole that's right on the highway, and I literally hooked it not in the highway, but over like across the highway. I don't think it hit anything, but it was very far left. Um, yeah, the course it's been raining a lot recently, so the course was a little wet. It was hard to find golf balls yesterday that were in play, which is frustrating. I almost got hit. I probably was like this close, literally like a foot from being hit in the head by a golf ball with someone not even saying four. Almost got hit twice actually. The second time wasn't as close, but the first one I literally heard the golf ball go past my head. I was like, holy crap, that could have been bad because that pretty sure they teed off with a driver. But we're still chilling, My goal is to be a high 70s, low 80s golfer by the time I get to my tournaments in November. I searched on online for the colleges I'm considering. I could probably already start on the Bethany College team. They shoot like from what I saw, they shot like high 70s on a good day, low 90s on a bad day. Allegheny College is very competitive. I would be in order to start on that team, I would have to average probably like high 70s, so shoot low to mid 70s to low 80s on a bad day. So they're more competitive. I'm leaning towards Arcadia because they have a really good practice facility, and I've done some research, and they play in a lot of good tournaments. So that's cool. They play in a lot of tournaments, and the tournaments they play in are good. They have, good competition. Um, so I think the program at Arcadia is farther along than Bethany, but I say I kind of want to be a big fish in a small pond opposed to a small fish in a big pond, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I think another thing I've been thinking about is when I get uncomfortable on the golf course, standing over the ball, lose focus, or just in life, whenever I get uncomfortable, that's whenever you gotta cherish it. Be like, hell yeah. Think of it almost as like a game. Like life is challenging me. If on the golf course there's a hole and there's 20-mile-an-hour winds blowing into you. Look at it as a test to kind of allow yourself to prove to yourself that you can conquer difficult circumstances. The difficult, the more difficult the circumstance or the more uncomfortable you are, just allows you to prove that you can overcome difficult things. Don't, I mean, so that's kind of what I've been thinking, but then another thing I've been thinking about is you see a lot of people nowadays kind of like expressing themselves on social media, which I think is awesome. I think vulnerability is awesome, and I've opened up about my struggles as well. But at the same time, we can't just sit there and sit there and wallow in self pity. We gotta at some point take a step forward. We got to understand that everyone is going through something, and we got to pull up our bootstraps and keep moving forward no matter what. Whether it's opposite action or mindfulness skills or radical acceptance. I would study DBT if if you're not doing too well, study DBT and the strategy, specifically mindfulness, which I've mentioned in previous videos. Um, get a therapist and talk things out with them. You don't have to post everything. I appreciate when people are vulnerable on social media because it helps other people relate. But at the same time, I feel like, people are um posting things like posting that they're struggling, but they're not doing anything about it. So nothing's gonna change really. There's this quote from one of my friends in an outpatient. They said, "I wish I could tell you life gets better. It doesn't, but you do." So I think that's a pretty cool quote. It's just motivated me that I'm gonna continue to evolve and adapt. And the older I get, the more able I'm gonna be with the more better able. I'm not sure if that's the correct way to say it. The more better I'm gonna be able to handle difficult and uncomfortable emotions. But yeah, my life right now is focusing on golf, and then school's gonna be coming up here in the next couple weeks, so that should be good as well. But really, I'm just trying to get the scores down and hit the driving range as much as possible. Practice with my golfing aids. There's like this foam ball that I practice with, and there's a band that goes across your biceps to make sure you're um rotating properly with your arms and upper body. Helps keep things connected. Strongly recommend those bands. And then yeah, I mean, just trying to have a good time down here in Florida now that I'm down here before I get back to a more like quote unquote real life for a 25 young 30 year old. But another thing that I found for any family members or friends that are interested in learning more about what I've been doing, how I've been spending my time, is I've been searching at colleges. Like I said, certain colleges are interested in my golf. One that I reached out to and said, who's I reached out to a school, Yale University, which I'm sure you guys have heard of. I reached out to them asking if they had any openings for um prospective golfers, and they said no, but I just kept researching on Yale, and there's this program that is specifically for um, people that have been out of high school for 5 years, and I've been out of high school for about 7 years now, so I just make the cut. And it's like like I said, it's specifically for people who've been outside of high school for 5 years, and I really do think I have a chance to get enrolled in that program with all that I've been through, with all that I've learned. I know there are people that, have been through way worse circumstances than myself, but I've really had to battle over the past 5 years, but specifically 2, 3 years to get back to where I'm at right now. My mental state has never been stronger, and I'm not gonna stop no matter what. I'm stubborn. Sometimes whenever I don't get my way or things don't go as planned, I get frustrated. Like the other day, we were supposed to go up to a golf tournament. I woke up at 4:35 in the morning, and my guys were like, "Yeah, we're not going to be able to make it." So I was really frustrated, but I ended up having a good day yesterday, playing with a friend I met named AJ and Kamar, one of my life coaches. Um, Shot 87 with a birdie, one or two birdies and pars and a bunch of doubles. But it was still a lot of fun. Just getting out on the golf course anytime I can. Try to make it a priority to have a good time. But yeah, it's pretty much everything that's going on. The Eli Whitney scholarship program through Yale doesn't open its applications until November 1st. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that's been going on. I will update you guys about how I scored today. Posting on the gym, I'm currently a 4 handicap right now, 3.7 index. Um, yeah, the I'm looking forward to this upcoming tournament on I think it's Monday, August 19th. Pretty sure it's Monday, August 19th. So it's on the 19th. So hopefully we get to go up there to Fort Myers to play a practice round. It's a cool format. Not really sure what it's called, but it's not stroke play. It's like a format based off of points, excuse me. Yeah, that's pretty much what we got. Much love, much peace. Appreciate anyone who's watching this and stay tuned for more.